Looks like I'm doing a part two. That'll be good for ratings. I'm the luckiest man in the world. My Uncle Roy, who's my dad's younger brother, his youngest son, Phil Ray, had a son named Matthew. He married Alicia Jones. Don't ask me to pronounce her Hawaiian name. But she became Mrs. USA 2004 from Hawaii. And before that, she was Miss Hawaii and she was Mrs. Hawaii. Here she is as Mrs. Hawaii. Oh, she was first runner-up at Mrs. USA 2004. And yes, the Donald was there. But it was hands off to him. They have a great... It's her native costume. But my two first cousins on my dad's side, they have lots and lots and lots of children. So I don't feel bad about not having any. Let's talk about my mom's side of the family. You talk about a hillbilly if hillbilly 99999 is watching. These guys went to Nashville. This is a log cabin built by my uncle. He wasn't my great uncle, he was my uncle. And since I don't have permission, some are ministry, some are truck drivers, and some have passed. But that uncle, he made violins. He was quite the deal. Now we're getting some old stuff. This is my young mother. If I hadn't grown up with these stories, I wouldn't believe half of it. Oh, this Panama City. They left Independence, forgot to tell me. Bought a bankrupt subdivision. Didn't have any neighbors, but they had a swimming pool. And my mom got to be the Hollywood star she always wanted to be. That ties in with the Rick Joyner time. Now going back in time, this is during the Depression. The lady with the scarf, that's my great Aunt Laura. You talk about a penny pincher. That is August 61. So that ain't that far along. I tell you, sometimes you look at these and it's like, oh my goodness. I was 9 years old. I don't think I'm in here. See how she's smiling? And everybody else gets staring at the camera? She was a smart lady. So I guess that lady right there, that's my mom. That other guy, that's Bob. That's Aunt Leona and that's Uncle Johnny. Aunt Leona was the oldest. She died of cancer. Really messed everybody up. Well, let's see. I may have to do another part here. Let's get into she did well. They loved each other. And they loved her. Which one did I date? I'm not telling. They got a whole pickup load of stuff out of that birthday party. Oh. I think I was the only guy there outside of my mom and my dad and me, and these ladies from the church. At the time, it was Kansas City Fellowship. They were all throwing the party, and I don't remember what this was about, but she was liking it. Oh, caught him talking. One was okay with me, the other one wasn't sure, and uh-oh. She won a prize. What is that? I don't know what that is. In case these all get lost, I'm not very good at keeping pictures. I've thrown so many away. Just putting them up there. I know some of the old church still reviews these videos and keeps an eye on me. I bet you I'm the only one who's got a picture of that hairdo. That's Mrs. Diane Bickle, Mike Bickle's wife. What a bunch of great kids they have. And there's that other girl again saying, her friend saying, don't go out with him. Now here's a picture that Rick Joyner, Bob, this guy I've seen, and that guy. My mom always smiled for me if she knew I was taking a picture. Oh, this is my Aunt Iona. Her second marriage, she actually married a 33rd degree Mason. Everybody just killed her subscription, I bet. But I used to always joke with her and everybody'd get mad. Because her name was Iona. When she married Bill, she became I Own a Buffalo. And she would always respond. And when you were little, you didn't have your diapers on and you pooped on my white bedspread. No, that's when we used to dance for the Lord. Paul Cain said you couldn't do that anymore. Well, and there's Mike and Diane. Yes, I was there in the early days. Matter of fact, when I came back from college, they didn't even recognize me. I was Bob Jones, a wrestler, when I left, and when I came back, I was just the son of the old goat that wanted to kiss all the young girls on the lips, as Bonnie would say. He was a tough old Marine. And I always called this shot, my mom dated Elvis Presley. Don't have any dates on some of these. I guess she was unhappy at that time. Back to the birthday party. Back to the birthday party. That was probably the biggest event in her life. Oh, I got some more older ones. I wasn't going to show these, but since I did. Everyone, I have an announcement. Here we go. This is the old stuff. This is my great Aunt Laura, who left me 80 acres of ground, and everybody thought my dad owned it, but we set it up that it was in my name, and I would inherit it at a certain age. And that's her, my great Aunt Laura. She taught me how to cook, how to live on my own, how to kill a chicken, how to kill a rabbit, how to grow a garden, how to live by myself. When all is done and my last word is said, and ye who loved me murmur, he is dead, let no one weep, for fear I should know, and sorrow too that ye should so. When all is done, say not my day is over, and that through night I seek a dimmer shore. Say rather that my morn has just begun, morning. I greet the dawn and now a setting sun. When all is done. That's enough of that. Unless I got one more. These are all the pictures I have left. Aunt Laura is in one of the, to Iona, Viola Henderson and her school friends. Huh. And one more of story of Roy Lee Jones, Center High School, probably 1950. He actually drop kicked a football from like the 35-yard line at his end of the field, the longest kick to make a field goal in the history of Center High School. Chose on Reservoir Survivor. 2 or 3 Purple Hearts. I think he got the Congressional Medal of Honor. They wrote a book about him. And to finish it off, let's get back where we started. Half the time, I lived in one world. And some of you know who my godfather was. The other time, I lived with a bunch of Arkies that had come from Arkansas to work in factories. The rest of the time, I lived in the Ozarks, used an outhouse, and they were all Mennonites. So if you wonder why I am an unusual character, it's because that's how God developed me. And someday, I'm going to find me a nugget of gold out there in the M&R Hills. So anyway, this is my tribute to the wonderful year of 2020. And as I heard someone say the other day, 2021 said to 2020, you think you had a year? Here, hold my beer and I'll show you about 2021. Later, folks.